Hello to my awesome tribe. Happy Sunday. It is still gray and gloomy, and it's been pretty drizzly and rainy all day in the desert, which is awesome. Hey, Roger, how you doing? It's awesome to have a rainy, gray weekend in the desert. I mean, first of all, it's kind of good for all the plants and all the creatures that have to forage for water. They're having it easy right now. And secondly, it's unusual, so it's so fun. My Sunday turned into a Monday. I've been working all day, but I'm super excited because I'm working all day so I can be prepared so I can go to Phoenix for this week and take a whole bunch of art classes and get to meet a whole bunch of new people. And I'm super excited about that. So I'll be posting and doing my lives from Phoenix for a couple days this week, but that'll be fun. A little adventure. You won't get to see my beautiful baby, but it's okay. So I pulled today's card, and today is whale medicine. Everybody loves whales. Actually, I'm assuming that I love whales. I think mostly everybody that I know loves whales. And the whale, the whale is actually the record keeper. It's believed that this is possibly one of the mammals that actually roamed the earth before they were in water. This is just, I'm going off of all my research. I'm sure there's probably someone who could be like, actually, Liz, that's okay. You can tell me within. Hi, Lisa. I love whales. I know, right? They're just an amazing, powerful creature. So this talks about the record keeper in this book, The Animal Medicine Cards by Jamie Sands and David Carlson. So the story is that the whale keeps record of all things, and it's one of the longest lives of creatures in all the world. That did not come out right. But they have legend that they observed natives making that migration towards Turtle Island, which is considered North America. And they've kept record of all things that we, all creatures, not just us, have endured and encountered and been throughout the last, centuries and millennium and hundreds and thousands of years. And the medicine of this is several things. So whale medicine people who have whale medicine strongly within them, are often clairaudient, that they hear and receive information about things that they're not necessarily sure what they're hearing or why, but they go on a hunch and then it turns out right, and they're not quite sure why, but it just kind of happens. They hear a little something and they go on it and it works. I'm going to take this off just because I feel like it's rubbing on the mic. Look at me being crazy in the middle of it. So anyhow, so then the other part of this is one of my favorite topics. It's frequency. Hi, Mickey. How are you? Oh, so nice to see you. Hi. What's up? Oh, there's sunshine. Doug, I love you. Okay, so well medicine people have this this innate ability for sound and frequency. And this is why they are considered clairaudient, because they're able to perceive and receive different types of frequencies with a little bit higher or a little bit lower than our natural spectrum of frequency. And one of my favorite parts about this is they talk about how humans are one of the only creatures that doesn't have their own unique call. And every time I see this, oh, I want to see the whales too, but you're way closer, aren't you? Mickey said that she wants to go see whales this year. So I often think about this because we inhabit this earth with a lot of creatures, but we don't always have some of the same essence. And obviously, we've developed into societies that have massive forms of technology, and then there's a huge difference. Then we still have indigenous cultures that are hardly touched by current status of technology and this crazy amount of communication that we share. The world has become so small because I can pick up a phone and I could call my friend who's 4,000 miles away and have a real-time conversation. Hi, Nesha. Mwah! Um, so this medicine is pretty awesome because it's asking for a couple things. One, it's asking for you to be receptive to the frequencies that you're tuning yourself into. And this is something that I often struggle with, and my sister and I talk about it because I'm one of those people that I can listen to some pretty crazy stuff because I love all kinds of music. And a lot of times the words aren't that great. I'll be straight up. They're not. I have a little thing for some people like Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, I love his work, but hey, Abigail. Oh. Um, but it doesn't resonate with the highest of me. And actually, since I've been doing this readings, I have actually had to tune out all kinds of music. Even some stuff like Ani DeFranco, which, I mean, she's not necessarily the same stuff as like some hip hop artist. But the tone, the frequency that she is emanating, even though her guitar is amazing and her poetry is inspiring, sometimes there's a lot of anger or there's a lot of bitterness. And my job, while I've chosen to do this, is to be a hollow bone. So I have to be really careful how I influence myself. And being as though we're on this earth and we're in this universe, we are vibrational creatures. That's what we are. Every single thing that you see, hear, or do has a vibration and a frequency that is responsible for a certain spectrum on an emotional scale, right? So for me, what's happened is I'm basically listening to nature sounds and flutes all the time. Like, Pandora's like, you want nature again? I'm like, yeah, I totally want nature. Oh, there's my mom. Hey, mom. So I have to really be careful with what I'm influencing myself. And I'm a Pisces, so I'm a water girl. So I'm not just a water girl, I'm a mutable water girl, which means I can pretty much flow with anything. I'll fit into any crack. I'll fill any cup. I'm a shapeshifter of all things. It's one of the reasons why I have so many accents, which is one of my special superpowers. Like, I can be the only Puerto Rican in the Bronx that can go from like a Puerto Rican accent to like oofta. Like, if I get tired, this is me. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And the rest of my family's like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, it's just, I pick up things so quickly and so easily and I assimilate them that, I have to be really careful. So what I listen to, the sounds and the frequencies of those things, it's not necessarily the words, it's the motions that they're emanating. It's like what it is. Because there's some beautiful, like, I love the Indigo Girls. When I was in high school, like, I just love them. But I have to be careful because some of those songs are more a plea of supplication, meaning they have a void that they're filling in these songs and they're just talking about this void of sadness or love that's unrequited and things that are unfulfilled. And in this, it is my pleasure to do this, but it's also, I take it very seriously where I don't want to do something and share something that has a tone of wanting or needing, competitiveness, anger, sorrow, bitterness, sharp tone. My desire is to be warm, to be loving, to be kind, to be clear, to engage you, to maybe make you giggle a little bit. I love to make people laugh. And those things are really, truly, truly felt even on this platform. Like, you could feel it. If I was going to be a little cranky and I was off, you would have felt it. Like a couple nights ago, I was really tired. And some folks felt it. And I was like, I'm sorry, I was just really tired. And I couldn't hide it. As much as preparedness I had or whatever I could have done, you guys feel it. And that is a large amount because you're vibrational, I'm vibrational, and these things are actually non-local. They're not. Like, love is non-local. You know how somebody can be sick far, far away and everyone's sending them love and they'll get back on to their health and they'll say, I felt that. I felt those prayers, even though they were thousands of miles away, because vibration is non-local. That's a construct that helps us as humans in a physical world. But the reality is you can feel it from far, far away. It's so true. So with the whale, we're going to go right back to the whale real quick. The whale being the record keeper, and it talks a lot about sound and how we don't have our own sound. And it talks about how the whale card, when it comes into your life, is asking you to be quiet and hone in and to work with sound. I've been doing a really awesome form of EFT where I get to emote with sound as I'm breathing out. And her philosophy is as you breathe out, so I would breathe in, look at my nose, and then I breathe out. And when I breathe out, I open my mouth and I go, ah, and I let out a sound. And it's actually way louder, but I'm going to be nice to you because who knows who's got headphones on. And that in and of itself accesses something. It's telling not only my mind that I'm releasing, but the vibration of my throat letting out a sound is powerful to my whole self. Whatever issues I'm working on in the past, for me, a lot of my tension, I feel it in my throat. And for me, a lot of that has to do with I've spent a lot of time swallowing my words and being quiet. So when I breathe in with this form of therapy and I breathe out, it's like I'm letting myself just go and I'm letting that steam escape with that sound. Because sound is that important. It's really tricky because today our world is smaller and the music's becoming more and more homogenous. I don't know if you've noticed, like other cultures are attaching to other cultures into music. And it's not about cultural appropriation. It's just whatever moves you, it inspires you, you get into it, right? But in that, we're going to lose some of our individuality if we can't necessarily allow ourselves to get quiet enough to hear what it is that we think and feel and let it out. Jessie, you do that too? Jessie says, yes, I do that. Yeah, where you just like, oh. But if you can do that with a focus before you do it, to go, I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to breathe out. I'm going to release some tension and I'm going to allow myself to deflate and I'm going to feel something better and I'm going to listen for more guidance. That is really a true beauty of using sound and frequency and making it something that is now not just an awesome theory, but that's a totally practical application in your life. Like when I read these cards, sometimes they really go out there. And I want to bring it down so that it's like, oh, I never thought of that. And it becomes something that's like simple and practical that you can kind of use into your life. So with this card, they want you to find your own sound and they want you to remember that inside of you is a record of so much more than we give ourselves credit for. The whale is an immense, beautiful creature. It's huge. I think it's so interesting that this mammoth creature doesn't even have teeth and it survives on like the teeniest, tiniest little plankton. I think it's a really great reminder that our energy can grow and grow and grow. It can grow in anger. It can grow in joy. It can grow in fear. It can grow in greed. It can grow in not enoughness. And what feeds this is not necessarily the big things. It's the tiny things. It's the tiny commitments to either a belief, a frame of reference, or an action that holds you in a certain pattern. So I have some friends that are really dealing with perpetual sadness because they keep having issues pop up and it seems like they just can't get a break. But the change that needs to happen for them that they're having a very difficult time with is the tiny moments. Okay, so you get a phone call and it's going downhill and real bad. And you're on the phone, you're like, oh, you get off the phone and you're so angry and you're human, and you're just feeling it. This is a moment of tiny, tiny, tiny change that can help you and you can build on. So in that moment, you could stop and go, okay, that really sucked. And I feel like it's ending the world. But I know it's not. I can do better. What can I do? Just even taking a breath and asking that question is a tiny pivot. You might not have the answer right away. You might need to put it up for a second. Go wash your face, get a glass of water, put on something to listen to. Okay? So each of those moments, you're going to enter into a new segment of reality. And in that moment, when you're turning on the faucet, instead of going, God damn it, I can't believe that person did that again. You turn on that water and you're like, I'm so glad I have clean water. I mean, I'm not going to get political, but there are still people in the United States, in America, that cannot drink from their faucet. Can you? Can you drink from your faucet and not be poisoned? Awesome. Turn on that water and be like, thank you for this water. And you're going to continue to build teeny tiny moments so that you have a buffer to that reaction of anger, so you can have an opportunity to transmute or see beyond the opportunity. Because no matter what anybody says or does, it can get real bad, but moments are fleeting. And every time one passes, another one comes, and you have another opportunity to reprogram yourself in the teeny tiniest of ways. I am so deeply grateful that I've had a platform to be able to speak with so many people every day and to share something that is not necessarily mine, but I truly, truly love and believe in, and that's helped me to make better choices. And I hope that in these moments that we're together, that even if you don't get what the card means, and even if it sounds kind of weird to call an animal a medicine, that when we're communicating together, that I'm done enough work to share with you a sense of love and empathy, compassion, and optimism, that you realize that almost every single one of these videos, I have encouraged tiny, tiny, tiny options to feel a little bit better, that will set you up to feel even better, that will set you up to do better, that will set you up to find the teeny tiny clues and the little breaks that you need to feel better, because that's all anybody wants. The reason why we want the cars and the money and the man and all this stuff, because we feel like it's going to help us feel better. And the awesomest trick that I've ever learned, it's about feeling better before any of that happens. Because that's your choice too. You get to do that. You're totally capable of doing that. It has been such a delight, and I'm so excited that I still have 23 more days to hang out with you guys and to do this work. And I'm so excited to figure out who the next 10 people are that are going to get their free readings. I'll post it tomorrow, and I'm so excited to meet them. But I want you to remember that in all these cards, the choices are very same. In all these cards, the message is the same. That A, you're loved. B, you're capable. And C, that is what is expected of you. To realize that you are loved and to realize that you are capable in every freaking moment, all the time. It's so much bigger than all of us. It's so much bigger than any of this. Yet we always lose sight in those tiny moments of despair. And those tiny moments of despair, we rehearse. I love you too, Mom. You're so welcome, Jessie. Thank you so much, Mickey. I get in my vibe and I don't read the stuff, and I'm so sorry, and I will make sure to respond to all these. So as soon as I write the article on this, you know what? I'm going to be straight up. I'm considering on the weekends not writing an article. We'll see how that goes. Feels kind of inconsistent, but I'm making this up as I go. And because I've had so much love and support, I choose to remember that over the stress and the belief that maybe it won't be good enough. See? You see how that works? Tiny little moments. I chose to sit down today and sit with you, even though there's a part of me that's like, oh, I should probably do my hair. And I go, no, I'm going to come with all the love in my heart. And I trust that I'm going to emanate with the people who need to hear this. And they're going to feel my love over seeing my fuzzy hair, the fact that I might not look as made up. I never wear makeup. Let's just be honest about that. But see, lots of teeny tiny moments, lots of little bitty choices. That's all it is. Okay, guys, that's enough of me. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, however much time you have in your Sunday. And yes, Mom, you can change things too. I can change things. I think we've both seen lots of change, haven't we, Mama? So I will be back tomorrow, and I will also, oh, thanks, Jessie. I love you and miss you. I'm so glad we have this super awesome internet that we get to talk together. So tomorrow I'm going to post that thing about the 10 free readings. Yay! Okay, I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.